evening. And if you wouldn't mind just putting your mics on mute, it just helps during the presentation. And I'm sure we'll have a whole host of questions and answers right at the end. And anything that I'm not too informed about, I'm sure we will be able to extend it and get the appropriate answers. I think I've got to a point now with eXp South Africa where we're pretty well versed in terms of the independent contract agreements, the policies and procedures manuals, and what we've got on offer in terms of eXp South Africa. So from my side, extremely excited about the opportunity and very excited about bringing eXp to South Africa. I'm really interested to see how this technology platform and this business platform disrupts in South Africa, because there's sincerely a great difference between the traditional agency and what is on offer through eXp Realty. I always talk often about the 7 ways of becoming wealthy. And if you've got 7 different forms or 7 different ways of becoming wealthy, you're on the right sort of lane at the end of the day. So my feeling is this: it appears that eXp South Africa has 6 different ways of assisting you in becoming wealthy. So it's not just the traditional model, it's really ramped up in terms of benefiting the agent. And what I'm certainly excited about from a eXp point of view is how agent-centric this company is. It really, really focuses on the agent. We're obsessed about our agents, and that's why I'm super excited about the opportunity of addressing you this evening. Thanks once again to Sean and Bill. I love these sort of opportunities, and certainly the virtual world has come to life during lockdown. And as we extend into another year, we've got to see where it actually takes us. So our holding company is eXp World Holdings. It was really driven previously by a company or a technology called Verbella. And that technology has extended through eXp, not only in South Africa, but across the world, and starting to extend into 5 new countries now, and possibly 15 new countries by the end of next year. Just a little bit of history on Verbella. It was a technology system in the early 2000s, which was used for the mining companies in America. And what you got to picture is 6,000 miners coming into one venue for 3 or 4 days. And picture those miners coming through, costing food, accommodation, flights, travel, time away from the mines, etc. And Verbella was a system created to ensure that these miners could get into a venue where they could be hosted in the form of a conference. And it was a virtual office effectively in the cloud where all these miners came together literally for 2-3 hours. Now picture that, the savings that would have been made from the 3-4 days away from home, away from the mine, staying in hotels, accommodation, travel, etc., versus the 2-3 hours which we in eXp World today have the ability to offer to our agents, and thus making the agent more productive, giving the agent more hours to go do what you really do well, and that is sell. And our offering through eXp is to recruit as well, and to earn off other agents as you are recruiting. Our numbers at the moment, we're the fastest growing real estate company by agent count. We're up to 36,000 agents. The expectations are we'll be at 40,000 by the end of this year, and I'm talking across the world. And as we extend from 40,000 this year, the expectation is we'll have 100,000 agents working across the world in the countries that we've nominated. And I think there's going to be massive growth into 2021 and then extending into 2022, where we really go global thereafter. In every country where there's a deeds office that operates, where a license is offered for agents that can operate in those areas. And I think eXp Realty just really looks for the fundamentals in ensuring that the judicial system works. And that's why South Africa was such a great attraction. Our deeds office works, our judicial system is intact, and we've got 48,000 agents working across South Africa, 8,000 of which are qualified agents, and there are approximately 40,000 agents which are interns that are operating in South Africa at the moment. So there's a massive value proposition that we've got through the various technologies that we've got on offer. Quite an amazing story. I had the great pleasure of meeting Glenn Sanford when I first started with eXp some 3 months ago. And Glenn Sanford, CEO and chairman of eXp World Holdings, was the founder and CEO of eXp back in 2009. And he took this Verbella product and he converted it, and he said, how can he create something that just is so unique to the realty or to the real estate business? And he came up with the technology of Verbella extending out of its old mode into a new system and a new technology and a new platform and business platform that would or could be adopted by productive agents around the world. He's supported by Jeff Whiteside, John Tobison, James Bramble, who I've had very close links with over the last little while, working with ENS Africa, putting our legalities together for South Africa and ensuring that we are a registered company as eXp South Africa Pty Limited. And with the Estate Agency Affairs Board, we have our trading name as eXp South Africa. Courtney Chakaran is our head of marketing and doing a fantastic job in terms of marketing eXp Holdings. eXp Realty, headed by Jason Gessing. Quite a lovely story around Jason. He's such an incredible guy and well supported with Stacey Onan, Dave Conard, Alex Howland, and then two very important people to me, Michael Valdez, who's my direct, I report directly to Michael, and he's the president of global expansion around the world. Very energized gentleman, hugely respected in the industry. He came through the Sotheby's fold, the Century 21, but where he looked after those entities globally around the world. James Wang, president of eXp Commercial, and just recently appointed around about one month ago. And it's obviously a strategic move, with commercial being quite on the sort of downside in terms of sales opportunities, but eXp seeing a massive upside coming in the future in terms of commercial properties and the movement of those commercial properties. So where we established at the moment, we are very well established in the USA, in Canada, in the UK, and in Australia. And the first of 5 countries to open up was South Africa, which we launched on the 9th of October. We had a soft launch. Our Join app started on the 12th of October, and straight away we've had agents joining the team and going into the Join app, understanding the independent contract agreement, understanding our policies and procedures manual, signing those off, and now extending into the payment terms and the model of South Africa, which we'll get to a little bit later. 2 weeks' time, we extend into India. And quite interesting enough, and this is very important in terms of revenue share, but India has 1.4 billion people living in that country. I was watching the IPL earlier and so excited about the cricket that's taking place, but yet that's in Dubai. But India, 1.4 billion people, 1 million agents are working that country. And from a network and a revenue share perspective, such a great opportunity to attract agents into your own network, which I'll explain a little bit later. And then into Mexico would be the next country, and followed by France and Portugal are 2 countries that I see massive opportunity opening up before the end of this year, where eXp will be licensed in those countries. And I think it's important to note, I'll just repeat again, by the end of next year, further 15 countries around the world, mainly in Africa, Middle East, which will be the Emiratis, and then extending into the Far East with Japan and China and the likes of those countries coming online in terms of an eXp license. So big growth, massive growth. And we've seen it actually happen in the company value. 2009, you must remember, eXp was valued at 0. 2 weeks ago, eXp evaluation was done on the structure of the company, and is valued at around about $4 billion US. So eXp must be doing something right. And I take my hat off to Glenn Sanford, who's built this business literally from 0 up to a $4 billion US company. Quite an impressive record, and especially in such a short time in terms of achieving those sort of numbers. Also, what's quite important is around about 6 months ago, the shares on the EXPI, where we listed on the NASDAQ, were valued at around about $6 US. Those shares now today valued in the region of around about $60 US, 60. So massive, massive growth in terms of percentages, and obviously the agent growth coming with that now. And we're already seeing it in South Africa. Since launch, we're reaching 100 agents. I think by the end of December, we're going to be at around about 500, 600 agent count. It grows organically as your market share leaders come on board and tell good stories about the company, because it seriously is a nice company to join. And I believe by the end of next year, we're going to be in excess of 2,000 agents just purely in South Africa. Our aim as a company, eXp South Africa, is to grow to be the biggest brokerage in South Africa. And I say that with pride, because you are the brand as the agent. You will be the brand, and purely powered by eXp. So I think it's important to know that, because we are an agent-centric business, and you'll see why as we go through the wealth creation side of things. So a little bit about South Africa. I'm obviously heading it up as broker of record. Now, what you must remember is in South Africa, we don't have any franchise owners. We don't have any building structure. We don't have any, we actually don't have an office in South Africa. We're cloud-based. We're a technology platform in terms of plug and play. And effectively, I'm the broker of record, the principal for South Africa. We have an independent contract arrangement with each individual agent. And I think that's important to realize, that we're going to grow this massive network of agents across South Africa in particular. Mark Lucas, our financial manager, lives up in Potchefstroom, really nice gentleman, got a good legal background, good financial background, and he's really my right-hand man in terms of the opportunity here in South Africa. Amanda Ray, who emanates from my previous company that I worked for. We've been colleagues for around about 9 years. She's my personal assistant, administrative support coordinator. And funny enough, she's been on the world stage. She went to world champs in the cycling track. And I think she's been on the podium 3 times, either first, second, or third in terms of world champs. So she's really a Springbok, I believe, and a tremendous cyclist on her, as her hobby as such. And then our real team, the guys and girls that really interact directly with the agents. Juliet Zuniga, onboarding specialist. She actually comes out of Canada, Montreal. Beautiful lady, and really just agent focused. Robin Nell, who's on this call here with us today. She lives just up the road from me, and doing a fantastic job in terms of engaging with our agents, ensuring the onboarding process takes place. Nyari Mabaya, a lovely Zimbabwean girl living and working here in South Africa. And she's got great track record and background in terms of banking, real estate business, and transactional experience on the real estate side of things. And then Zion Meyer, based down in Cape Town. And the lovely thing with this team is we really haven't met each other. We've met each other virtually, but we feel like a family. We feel like a community. And really think about it. This team of 7 people have the ability to take us to over 1,000 agents here in South Africa. And as we gear and go above the 1,000 mark, so we'll top up with onboarding specialists, transactional specialists. And that tells you something about the technology side, how automated it is from an onboarding point of view, and how automated it is from a transactional point of view as you go through from offer to purchase to your money in the bank as the agent working for eXp South Africa. Just about the model itself. I spoke earlier about the traditional brokerage, all your bricks and mortar, normally a principal in place, a team leader, often an administration team, an accounts team, a marketing backbone to that, lots of money spent on private property, P24 and the likes. And I think you've got to consider taking that entire model out, turning it on its head, and ensuring that the agent becomes the shareholder in the company. So taking all the infrastructure out, taking all the people out, and ensuring the agent becomes the shareholder. And with that, the shareholder starts making decisions about the business, surely dictates where this business is going to. And we want that agent to become the shareholder, trade in shares on the stock exchange, participate in bigger and better commissions, and further have opportunities in terms of growing revenue share and really understanding how to make money through the real estate business. So here I've listed 4 ways of earning with eXp, and this is very important, but I believe there are actually 6 different ways of earning through eXp. So the 4 different ways are admirable commissions through property sales, which includes an admirable split relating to commercial, retail, residential, business type of opportunities, farmland for sale, development land, and inclusive of procurement rentals. We do not participate in managed rentals. So it's one of the items we don't participate in. Also, sectional title hotel rooms might come into play here, or will come into play. That's something that I specialize in myself, but admirable commissions on a property sale. And just keep that in the back of your mind. Revenue share, where you introduce agents into your network. So if you believe you're a good recruiter and you've got the ability to attract a network of agents into your downline, this is a massive opportunity, because to me, this is the biggest way that you can earn through eXp. Through starting a network of agents and building that network through the tiered structure to ensure that it benefits your pocket at the end of the day. And I think it's just a great concept that eXp has evolved into since 2009. Equity shares, 5% of your commission can be banked in the form of shares. And this is normally at a 10% discount, which is written into your agreement. You can cancel it at any stage, but 5% of your commission can be banked in the form of shares. Now, this allows you to start trading, start working on the stock exchange, dealing through EXPI, and obviously watching the NASDAQ as to the movement of your shares on a day-to-day basis. And what an exciting time in terms of getting involved in a company that is now starting to emerge and grow and breathe into a bigger company. Such exciting times lie ahead in that regard. And then icon status. Iconic agents are the top 2-3% of agents in South Africa and our top performers. And then obviously certain criteria that attach to that, that ensure that it benefits the agent. There's a form of cap value that goes back to the agent in the form of shares, and I'll elaborate a little bit on that a little bit later. Two items that I haven't mentioned here, but I do talk a little bit about it later. One is incentive, where you do your first deal, you cap, and when you as a sponsor, one of your downline does their first sale, you get rewarded in the form of shares. So that's the fifth way of earning. And then the sixth way of earning is if you own property and you're an investor yourself, you've got the ability to sell your property and not pay the commission on that property. So that's a sixth advantage in terms of ways that you as a property owner, property investor, and an agent within eXp can benefit from our model. And I don't believe there's any other agency or brokerage in South Africa that have these 6 different ways of earning in such a methodical and systematic way in terms of rolling it out across the country. And just remember, most of this is built into our technology. And it's new technology that we've brought to South Africa. So we're working it, we're building it, we're making it happen, and we're working with our agents as we go along day to day. The South African model simplified and explained. 800 Rand join fee once off. So it's a once-off fee of 800 Rand only, and that's to join the team. It comes through the Join app. We've got an automated payment gateway, which raises the 800 Rand and also raises the 800 Rand monthly fee in advance. So effectively, you're starting with a cost of 1,600 Rand. You're going off to the EAAB to collect your Fidelity Fund certificate, coming back with a proof of payment. Effectively, we then onboard you. We issue you with your email address. You plug into the technology, and now you can become that productive agent through training, through mechanism, through all the information, the marketing materials, the plug into private property, P24, all of that packaged for you to make you the agent that you want to be here in South Africa. The splits in terms of commission, 75% to agent, 25% to company. Just keep an eye on the bottom figure there of a 4% international fee. So the agent effectively nets out 71% on each transaction. So 75%, 25% with a 4% transaction fee. So 71% to the agent. We're working on 150,000 Rand cap. And I think it's important to note here that the cap value comes out of the company's portion. So the cap value of the company's 25% portion. And when your contribution through the company portion reaches 150,000 Rand, you move to 100% agent commission, 0% to company. but just remember that 4% international fee. So there's always going to be the 71% net to agent before cap, and after cap in an annual year, you're going to realize 96% to agent in the terms of your commission structure. A really great thing about this model is we're very keen on the transformation side of things. We want to work to ensure that our youth get better, that our youth realize a better lifestyle, become wealthy through this model. And also, we want our agents to contribute some of their commission, which is the 0.5% figure of the 4% international fee, where we're giving back to the community. And we're hoping that the agents will agree that this money goes towards schools, sports fields, upliftment, development of youngsters coming through schools into the real estate business and growing our youngsters for a better future. And I think this is so important. I think through Sean Minnie this week, excuse me, I had an interview with the property professional, thanks very much to Sean. And I spoke about transformation in our industry and how this transformation is going to work. And it's critical in our country to really help the tech-orientated agents just to become better agents from the youth, gearing into the business that we're doing in the future. So revenue share itself. Okay, so the revenue share model on tier 1. So just picture yourself as a sponsor. Yourself as a sponsor, bringing in your first tier of influencers. And your first tier of influencers are people that are going to influence either from being market share leaders as agents, high quality agents in your area that are more than likely going to achieve cap, but also that kind of agent that draws other agents in, that are well recognized in their area, and automatically agents look up to this person and say, okay, I want to go join that company because so-and-so is working there, and that person is going to be my sponsor. And you want that kind of influential person on your first tier. The second type of person you want on your first tier is an influential type of person that recruits. And if that person can recruit, the likelihood that they're going to recruit good quality agents that are going to start building tier 2 all the way down to tier 7 is a great likelihood. And I've just been told by the American guys and been introduced by Bill Campbell to the likes of Brent Gove, and a story about Brent Gove. And all he told me about the revenue share model was bring in influencers on your first tier. And if you go beyond the 40 count on your first tier, you will work all the way down to the 7th level and you will make a huge amount of money. So a great example relating back to Brent Gove. Brent started 4 years ago with eXp. He came across from the likes of Remax and Keller Williams and joined eXp. He had 3 agents in his network, 3 influential agents on his first tier. And that's all that he started with. By the end of his first year, he had 100 agents in his network. Whether they were on first tier, second tier, third tier, I'm not too sure. By the end of his second year, he had 1,000 agents. By the end of his third year, he had 11,000 agents. And he's now sitting 3 months after that third year, he's sitting on 14,000 agents. And he makes in excess of 460, I know the figures in excess of 500,000 US dollars a month. So just be aware of those sort of numbers, because if you can work your network, your revenue share is going to work for you. So on the first tier, you can earn up to 21,000 Rand per individual agent that you introduce as they build their way up to the cap value of 150,000. So effectively what the company does is that what the company makes out of this model, they literally split it in half and they pay that value back in the form of revenue share to the network that is working below you. Okay, so that's how you earn your money. And on this figure, it's a 3.5% of gross commission income, which works out at 21,000 Rand per individual that you introduce on tier 1. On tier 2, it moves to a 24,000 Rand value. Okay, and it's going to tear down to tier 7 where it ramps up to a much higher value. But please just realize through this revenue share model that there is going to be certain stipulations that on tier 2, you're going to need 5 agents working in that tier. On tier 3, you're going to need 10 agents. And so it's going to extend down into a greater network. They're the full values that you can earn year on year from the individual agents that you work. So 21,000 on the first year, 24,000 second tier, extending all the way through, a little bit of dip on tier 3, 4, 5, because those generally work themselves. I'm sure there've been actuaries putting these numbers together, but you tier up to tier 7 at 30,000 Rand. And like I said right in the beginning, you effectively want 40 people across your first tier in order to ensure that you go all the way down to tier 7. Excuse me. Right, the incentive program, I did mention first sale 2,000 Rand, and this is to you as the individual agent. So on the first sale that you do, you get awarded 2,000 Rands worth of shares. It doesn't sound a lot, but it allows you to now start trading the shares. When you cap, you get allocated a further 4,000 Rands worth of shares. And when your sponsor's agent closes their first deal, so on your first year, your first agent closes their first deal, you earn a further 4,000 Rand. This page also talks to the equity shares of 5% at a 10% discount, which we draw into your independent contract agreement. Icon agents have the ability to achieve icon status when they achieve a cap value of 150,000 Rand or annual gross commission income of 5 million Rand. And with those two achievements, there's certain other criteria that kick in, but you can earn your full cap value back of 150,000 Rand, either from a 0 period all the way through to a 3-year vested period. And this 150,000 Rand is paid back to you in the form of shares. So once again, that shareholding structure in the company becomes vitally important, and the retention with the vested period over a 3-year period ensures that we retain our best agents at the top of the team. And then just into some dynamics as to how we work. To me, we got the best CRM in the world. And if we don't have the best CRM in the world, eXp buys the best CRM in the world. So that's the way that they operate. They want the best world, they want the best cloud-based office, they want the best CRM, and they want to extend into systems which allow you as the agent to operate in the best possible manner. So our CRM is really driven by a company called List Globally. List Globally talks to an entity which was created by a development team called Phoenix. They actually operate out of India. And this team created a program called REP, R-E-P, which in South Africa is probably the equivalent, maybe slightly different, okay, but it's equivalent to a prop data or an integral, but feeds out into 2 syndications at the moment. There will be more, but initially through to private property and to P24. The system then extends out into social media. You've got the ability to campaign through it into the likes of Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and so on, and also extends into a one-page website, which allows you as the brand to be the brand purely powered by eXp. Our eXp University. So what we don't want here is we don't want to enforce an employer-employee type of relationship. And what is important is that we do offer training. There's 100 hours of training out of the USA, either live or recorded. Most of it is live. Out of South Africa, to start with, I've started with a few sessions. We're going to be building up to about 40 hours a week in terms of live training and a few recorded sessions. And we're going to ramp this up as we extend into South Africa and we grow our agent base, because it's so vital that agents mix with agents, share ideas, learn from each other, and grow this business as if it's our own business, which it is. Our workplace and work chat environment. Here you got a major networking opportunity. And I believe probably through eXp, probably 99% of your sales are done internally through referrals from the agents internal to eXp. And work chat and workplace is effectively a WhatsApp group internal to eXp, and workplace is a Facebook page internal to eXp. And through that, we market to the team, we speak, we communicate on a daily basis, and it extends back into the technology that we offer you. Excuse me, sorry about that. Our eXp world, there's my office on a day-to-day basis. Robin Nell is just next door to me, Mark Luca, Amanda Ray. We got boardrooms, we got auditoriums. Our auditoriums can take up to 1,500 people. Our South African flag is flying in eXp World, and we're so excited about the opportunity of this space. If you haven't been in there, come in, experience the space. It's quite phenomenal. Offerings in terms of marketing, business cards, newsletters, brochures, flyers, etc., all available in the house. All right, and then into partners and our third-party participation here in South Africa. Been very much involved with ENS Africa, PKF Octagon, our financial arm, Deloitte's our auditors, Aon, our insurers, Standard Bank, our bankers at the moment. The EAAB, we're finalizing our firm, and my FFC has been issued. My principal status has been issued, and my firm status should be issued by either this evening or tomorrow morning, and then we A for away. Other areas that we deal with, conveyancers, bond attorneys, bond originators, banks, relocators. And I put this on the list as partners because they're really partners with the agents. And the reason why I highlight these is that you as the agent will receive 100% returns from these individuals. eXp does not want to participate in any form of third-party income other than rentals and property sales specifically. And then I think the other added advantage is we've verified through the legal teams that we operate in our own senior counsel and through PKF Octagon that because we're purely a technology platform to plug and play, there's no employer-employee type of relationship. There will be no PAYE deducted, and each agent will receive their full commission, and you will take care of your own income tax, which I think from a cash flow point of view is a massive, massive advantage. And the social responsibility side, I can't emphasize this enough. I'm so excited about this, and I see a real give back to South Africa. Over the years, I've worked with Partners for Possibility on the education side. I've given back in terms of sport through SA Rugby Legends and the likes, but certainly through eXp, we see an opportunity to give back to our youth and to the diverse communities that we've got here in South Africa. And I'm so excited about this. I can't wait to spend the money in the right sort of areas in South Africa. So from my side, there's been a lot on the go in the last 3 months. I've had a phenomenal welcome to eXp. It has been nominated, I think, for the 4th year running now as one of the top 20 places to work in the world, as one of the top 20 places to work in the world. And I just want to verify that. I mean, my welcome into eXp by Glenn Sanford, I sat with him for half an hour. He didn't talk to me once about business. He just spoke about me, Andrew Thompson. He spoke about my hobbies, my lifestyle, what I loved, family, everything. It was everything about you as an individual, you as a human being. And funny enough, when I left his office, and he's a Canadian guy working in the USA, his comment to me on a WhatsApp was, Andrew, it's so great to meet you. Have a lekker day. Okay. And how good was that? How personalized. Have a lekker day. All right. And that will stick in my mind forever. I get goosebumps now because he meant it genuinely. So it was his birthday the other day, Glenn Sanford. You can look on LinkedIn. I gave him a merry wish on LinkedIn. And my response to him was, Glenn, have a lekker birthday. So that was personalized from my side. You'll see on the flag here, we've got our Join app. It's an embedded link. You can just click on the link. It takes you straight in, and you can join our group through that Join app. Also, my email is embedded. My contact details are there. And we're just loving interacting with our agents locally here in South Africa. And if there are any questions, I'm happy to host those questions together with Sean, Bill, who are your official hosts for this evening. Thank you very much indeed. And I hope that's given you some insight into eXp South Africa. Thanks very much indeed.
Andrew, thank you. That was an excellent overview and just such an exciting time. So thank you very much for sharing that with us. There are a couple of questions that I've got from people in the group. So I'm going to start us off with those, if I could, sure, to Andrew. And then if anyone else has questions, I think Andrew can still stay on for a little bit and he can answer those for us. Andrew, you referred to automated onboarding and automated transaction process. The first question I've got relates to the onboarding, and the question in particular relates to an agent who has a small brokerage and she wishes to join eXp independently. and is just asking what the process works like with the Estate Agency Affairs Board, closing her brokerage, joining independently, and also having agents join under her, amongst other agents that are candidate agents, and if there's any rule or regulation around those candidate agents and their Fidelity Fund certificates if she moves over to eXp.
Sean, to start with that, so our model has been based with the independent contract agreement with a natural person. Okay, so up until now, it's been a deal between eXp South Africa and a natural individual. So we believe through our independent contract agreement that we will be able to host teams, we will be able to host companies, but there is some work to be done in that regard. And I'm saying that because I've got a brokerage in a part of South Africa that's desperate to come on board. And because we structured it in a way where it's purely with natural persons, there are 2 or 3 things that need to catch up. One is the legal arrangements with those teams, how we deal with half cap, how we deal with quarter cap, and how we incorporate the teams and the companies into the structure in a legal manner. So the independent contract agreement is going to have to be adjusted in order to accommodate that. The second part to it is our technology has purely been based on an individual coming into the structure. So I think, Sean, you being a tech type of individual, all right, you will realize that our technology needs to be adjusted. And I believe we will be able to accommodate teams and companies as early as January 2021. So for the time being, if a team or a company was to want to come across, what they would want to do is unravel their existing business. That's 1. 2, realize what the offering is with eXp South Africa. So what you've got to picture is you want that principal of that agency to effectively become a sponsor, all right? To ensure that their tier 1 is qualified agent or their market leaders within their community of agents. And if they do have interns, which I think you referred to earlier, effectively you want a qualified agent in the upline of the intern. And that's a prerequisite in terms of our independent contract agreement, is to ensure that any intern joining eXp South Africa has to have a qualified PDE4 qualified agent minimum in their upline as a sponsor. And I think that's extremely important.
Thank you, Andrew. That certainly answered the question. I think specifically for this agent, she would take in the intern directly under her, or the interns directly under her, and she would be giving up her firm. So I do think that that answers that question sufficiently. Are there any other questions for Andrew?
Sean, just one thing is that, say you've got your small, or you've got your company, and so your website that you have designed and all your things carry on, all what it is, it's powered by eXp. So your logos, because everyone knows your website, everyone knows your logos. So there's nothing happening with your logos when you work. It's just powered by eXp at the bottom. But your normal websites carry on, and with the commission and the contracts going like that 24, that 71% that you say. I'm right that I say that it's worked like that. So your current website's going on as normal, but you've got just powered by eXp at the bottom.
Great question, Andrew. I'm gonna hand over to Andrew. I'd like to hear your response. Thanks, Andrew.
Yeah, so Andre, through our independent contract agreement, okay, you can't carry 2 Fidelity Fund certificates. Okay, so the sole Fidelity Fund certificate will need to sit with eXp. Okay, so you can't run another agency separate to ours. From a branding point of view, and let's just use a simple example. Let's assume you are Andre de Jager. I'm not sure what your surname is, but you can be Andre de Jager powered by eXp. If you are an agency and like a family agency, and you decided as a full agency to come across, and as I said to Sean in the earlier discussion about the teams and the companies, if you were to unravel that, but still retain your name, Andre de Jager Agencies, powered by eXp, you could retain your name in that sort of manner. Okay. If your agency is big enough, and I'm talking like let's say a Pam Golding or a big brokerage of 500 agents or more here in South Africa, we would consider doing a link URL through to your own website, because we don't want to lose your traditions, your cultures, your existing agency. But I've still got some work to be done on the team and the company structures to ensure that that can happen.
No, but as myself, I don't work. I've got my own company. I'm a principal, NQ5, PD5, but I work with the more exclusive properties, so I do the most myself. So I am not linked to other lot of agents. So what I will do is I want to bring agents on board with my way of marketing, but
Yes.
I want to keep my name, because I haven't got like Pam Golding or Steve, 100 others. It's very simple. It's my website. It's me and my secretary. So, and we running it. So, so it is not a problem. I can carry on like I'm going. It's just powered by XP, and my websites carry on because I got spend a lot of money doing my websites and do my things. And as I say, I didn't take. I want to try to grow the EXP to get more agents on, because my way of marketing I can get very easy. That's a very good thing for me, like to get other agents, because I've got other marketing systems what's already on the go. I can get more on EXP, other agents coming on board. So that works well, because I don't want like Pam Golding or Steve a lot of agents, but I like the way bringing agents on board. But that's in my marketing process.
Andre, you'll do very well with this, I'm sure. And I don't foresee a problem there whatsoever. Thanks very much.
Okay,
yeah.
thanks,
Good.
Andrew.
Are there any other questions that Andrew can answer?
Just one thing, Andrew, while we're chatting, sorry again. There's another big thing coming now currently, that is online auctions. It's with properties. Is there a way that you can help? Because that's a big thing that also currently going mad. And I just have you plans or have you things for what we can do online auctions?
Yeah, Andre, I think we've sort of had a brief discussion on the auction side of things with my superiors. And initially we excluded auctions from the way that we wanted to operate. We were a little bit concerned about it. But effectively, if you can secure the stock for those auctions, if you secure the stock and you can do the listing, we've got no problem with that. If you secure the stock and you do the listing, we got no issue with that.
Yeah. If I get the stock and I do my normal way, how I do an auction by tender or on a way I do it, but that's why it's for me important that I can carry on my way, but powered by EXP.
That shouldn't be a problem.
Okay, thanks, Andrew.
Thank you.
Sorry, there's just one question in the chat box.
Just read it out, please, Robin.
Will we have access to Trace PS? I don't know what that is, and Lightstone.
Okay, so our promise in our 800 Rand per month is that you will have the basic model for private property and P24. I've done the final negotiation on that this last week. We're into final contracting. Private property will be live, I believe, in the next 7 days before the 7th of November. P24, I think, will be live before the 15th of November, providing there's no errors in terms of the connectivity of the APIs between their companies and List Globally, which is our back-end company. Now, if there are no issues there and our numbers are structured correctly, I'm praying and I'm hoping, it's not a given in this call, but I'm praying and hoping that I can include Lightstone into the 800 Rand. But I'll only be able to verify that in the next couple of weeks. It's not something I can guarantee at the moment. I think it'll be a great value add.
Thanks, Andrew. Any other questions? Bill, anything from your side?
Sure, no, nothing from my side. I just want to say, Andrew, thanks again. Brilliant. Well done. I haven't got any other answers or questions at all at this stage.
Bill, Sean, if I can maybe just give a few things and just for, for the purposes of more exposure, Robin, myself, we can issue guest passes. So if you want to come in and experience our avatar world at eXp World, come see eXp South Africa World. It's very nice and interactive, and you'll realize how incredible this company is at translating presentations. It makes it so easy for us in terms of having the ability to do presentations to large scale audiences, to have that personal discussion in eXp South Africa World about a commission query, or if you've got a tech issue that you can go into eXp South Africa World, go see a technician between 7 in the morning and 9 o'clock at night, not having to make a phone call. You're having lifetime fixing of your computer, of any issue on your computer, by a real lifetime person sitting in front of you who accesses your computer while you're there, and there you can actually watch them addressing the matter personally. And then just things coming up, we've got from the 9th to the 13th of November, eXp Con. We're expecting in eXp World 20,000 people to participate in that conference. It's normally a live conference, but because of COVID, we're doing it in this sort of manner, but 20,000 people are coming into our venue, into the cloud, coming to interact. And, I'm hoping to have the likes of Sean Minnie on stage. I'm hoping to have the likes of Brent Gove on stage in our South Africa World, etc. Bill Campbell, Steve Johnson. There's a few other individuals that we're approaching. Who knows? The Beast might be there, Derek Watts, and a couple of other players. But I really would love for you to come to eXp Con. Robin, I think, has posted how to access that registration. 12th of November is Spotlight on South Africa. And then the 13th of November is, it's about leadership, vision, and mindset. And I'm bringing in the element of education, sport, real estate, business, and celebrity status in terms of that panel discussion to excite South Africans about eXp South Africa. And then, our onboarding app, we can send through to you our marketing deck, which we just sent through to you simply. The presentation that I did now, we can do it on WhatsApp. My contact details are 061 427 2476. If you want to drop me a WhatsApp, I can send you the marketing deck. It's 061 427 2476. The other thing is we can forward to you the Join app. That takes you through to the independent contract agreement and the policies and procedures manual. It's the only way of accessing those documents. They're not live on the web. We don't send them to people. We send you the Join app. Go access that information. Go read about the legalities, how it's all going to work, how the systems are going to work. Extremely important. And then, our sort of weekly process, I do this model on a weekly basis in eXp World where I present. I saw Sean there the other day. I saw Bill there the other day. Robin's up on stage with me, and she did a great presentation on the onboarding process. We're now going to start getting into listings. We're going to start getting into how to browse the web, how to make more value, how to earn more commissions. All those sort of discussions start taking place. And as our agent base takes off, I start involving the agents up on stage, interacting and talking their experiences. Also, what I'd love is for the USA folk to train us up on how to generate revenue share, how to grow your network. Andre, I think you'd appreciate that because I can see you excited about recruitment. Okay. So those are the kind of individuals to listen to a Gene Frederick, listen to a Brent Gove, all these players coming in and presenting how they started, what they do on a week-to-week basis, what webinars they're involved in, what videos they do, how do they interact on their websites, how do they respond to queries. All of these things are extremely important to all of us because I'm also still learning at the moment. And we'd just love you to participate because I think the most important thing is exciting times lie ahead. And sorry, Sean, Bill, just to dwell on this a little bit, as we're extending into the rest of the world, just remember, you can grow your revenue share through agents that you introduce in India. You can grow your revenue share through agents you introduce in the USA. I've introduced agents already into the USA. I've introduced agents into the UK already. And by the 1st of January, 2021, our technology will allow for cross-border payments into the country of origin. So what you want at the end of the day is to be introducing into the USA. I've got family there, I've got friends there, and I'm introducing those people and they're becoming agents. Okay. And through that, I'm earning revenue share back into South Africa, paid in US dollars, converted to rands, and banked in my bank account here locally in South Africa. So just remember, 1.4 billion people in India, 1 million of those are agents. One brokerage, which could form part of your network if you identify the right individual, could be 50,000 agents into your network. Picture that. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Just
Andrew.
one thing.
So powerful. Sorry, Gary.
Can I speak?
Go for it, Andrew.
Now, if the website, when you've got your property and loading up the websites and things, is there a link from your website that you go to eXp, or how the website and the loading up of the properties, how shall it works?
Sorry, Andre, just repeat that. I missed the first part of the question. Just repeat that.
Say you get a property. Now you need to load it up. Now I've got a system where I know how it works, and because that's always the problem, how to get the thing up, and like then you feed through to property 24, private property, but now you feed it through. How shall the website and the loading of the properties work through eXp?
Yeah, so it goes into that back-end system called List Globally. Okay, we've got a front end called REP, R-E-P, and that's like Prop Data and Integral. You know the systems in South Africa, Prop Data and Integral. That's our system.
I'm on Integral.
Okay, so that's our system called REP. All right, and like you load into Integral, we load into REP, and that populates through to the syndications in South Africa, private property P24. Your extended link in terms of your URL would need to tie into REP in order to be a further syndication from our side to be able to populate onto your website.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Nico has his hand up. He's got a question.
Hello, Nico. Your mic's off, Nico. Just take yourself off mute, bottom left.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, yeah. How are you, Nico?
All right, man, excellent.
Good.
I just want to know, what is the sort of average overhead cost for an agent? Because you're not sure about Lightstone. There's another thing, because you have to do some canvassing and all that stuff. So you need tools like Lightstone and Tracep to find people's details out. And you need to spend some money on virtual tours and all sorts of things like that. What is the sort of average price per agent for overheads, if I might call that overheads?
Yeah, Nico, I think it's hard to calculate per area because Cape Town will be very different to Bloemfontein. Bloemfontein will be very different to Durban, etc. But I think you've got to make provision as follows. Okay, your 800 Rand per month. Okay, make an allowance for that. You've got to cover a good Wi-Fi connection because we're so tech orientated. You've got to have good Wi-Fi at home. Okay, ensure that that's available. I would put in some extra money into a good laptop, computer hardware, and then going into your monthlies. You're going to make provision for sale boards, on-show boards, your frames, okay, which you're going to order centrally through us, delivered door to door, no courier cost to you. So, whether that's 1,000 Rand a month or 2,000 Rand a month, I think you've got to make provision for that. All right. You've got to make provision for social media boosting, because if you want to be in the market today, you've got to put some spend into social media and know how to boost it and to push it out in terms of really getting to your audience and targeted audience in your area on Facebook, on LinkedIn, Instagram, and the likes into those areas. Our facility allows for that, but you've got to pay a little bit extra in terms of your boosts. Lightstone at the moment, I would make provision for that because it's not guaranteed that it's going to be in our 800 Rand. All right. And then over and above that, you've already mentioned featured listings, virtual tours. I'd put a little bit of extra spend into that. I think where you're going to see savings, you're going to have a whole lot more meetings online than you will have in person. So you'll have meetings in eXp world. You're going to have meetings on Zoom, Google Meets, whatever it might be. The onboarding process makes it easier for you. The transactional process makes it easier for you, but you're still going to have that personal interaction with the client. If you have the relationships and you can work those relationships, and just remember, the agent that owns the market, owns the stock, owns the market. And we still got to not miss those models or systems that you traditionally work with.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nico.
Are there any other questions? Andrew or I can answer, or Bill? If there aren't,
Sean,
yes.
yeah, I think I just need to excuse myself. I'm going into another call. I've got another 2 after this. Exciting times lie ahead. We're nice and busy here in South Africa. But once again, to the audience, thanks so much, guys. Thanks for zooming in and taking the time out just to listen to our offering. Certainly now is the time to get on board. We want you to be pioneers, and so excited to be doing South Africa, being involved with eXp Realty. And thank you very much, Sean Minnie and Bill Campbell. I really appreciate this, and it's certainly an honor to chat to you guys. Thanks very much indeed.
Thank you, Andrew. And then we're still on for 7:30, is that right?
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about, 100%.
Okay, cool. See you there. Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Andrew.
Cheers,
Appreciate
everybody.
your time.